Welcome back everybody to part 4 of our Unity Space Invader tutorial series. In the previous video, we gave our players the ability to shoot and fend off the alien hordes. Now it's time for the aliens to return fire. So, grab your phasers, let's crack on. Alright, if you've just joined us here, feel free to download the project from the link in the description below. And when everyone's ready, let's talk about how the aliens are going to shoot. In the last video, I said there's a little bit more to it. That's because in Space Invaders, only the aliens on the front row can shoot. We don't want the ones behind to shoot because that would be absolute chaos and a severe challenge for the player. How are we going to determine whether an alien can or cannot shoot? We're going to use raycasts. So let's go ahead and open up our alien controller script. Okay, so let's just remind ourselves of what a raycast is. A raycast is similar to shining a torch from the object in a certain direction at a certain length. Whatever the light touches, whatever object the light touches, we can detect. We're going to have our aliens detect as to whether or not there is an active alien in front of them, and that's how we're going to determine whether they can shoot. If you have a look in the diagram here, those on the front row, their raycast is down, but there is no active alien in front, so they can shoot. Whereas the ones behind, they can detect an alien in front of them, therefore they won't shoot until the alien has been destroyed. Alright, so let's go ahead and create our shoot method. And inside, let's punch in our raycast. So we'll say that there's a raycast hit 2D. We can simply call it hit. And that will equal physics2d.raycast, then inside the brackets, the transform.position of this alien, and our direction. So we'll say minus transform.up, vector2.down. So we will cast our raycast down. We won't set a distance, as the default distance is enough. We don't want it to be too long. We also want to be able to view these raycasts in the scene view. So in update, let's punch in debug.drawRay, then inside the brackets, similar to what we did before, the transform.position of the alien by a vector2.down, and we can give the raycast a color. So we'll say color.red so it's easy to view. Okay, let's go back into the shoot method and let's punch in an if statement to determine whether or not the aliens can shoot. So in the first if statement, we'll say if the hit.collider.tag, so hit refers to the raycast, the collider of the object the raycast is hitting, .tag is not invader, so once our alien objects are no longer active, then the raycast is not hitting an object, and the raycast is no longer hitting an object with the invader tag. That is going to signal the next alien to shoot. So, to do that, we'll say if the game object, referring to the alien that's preparing to shoot, is active in the hierarchy, then we'll instantiate a laser at the transform.position, transform.rotation of the next alien ready to shoot. Alright, that's all we need for the shoot method. Let's give our aliens the ability to call upon this method. Unlike the player who shoots on command, we want the aliens to shoot randomly. Each alien will have a 1 in 10 chance of shooting. So we'll create a void called shot randomizer, and let's create an if statement that says if random.range, so a random range of values between 0 and 10, if that random value is greater than or equal to 9, so in other words, 1 in 10 chance, then the alien will shoot. But we also want to randomize just exactly when an alien can shoot. We don't want them all running on the same time. So in the start method, let's punch in invoke repeating, and the function, the method we want to repeat, which is the shot randomizer. And we'll do the same, we'll have a random.range, this time a little smaller, 1 and 5. So if that number is 1, then it will call upon the shot randomizer, of which the alien has a 1 in 10 chance of actually shooting. That way, they're all running on different times. They're not all running at the same time. Alright, hit save, and let's now go to the player controller script. Okay, just like the aliens, when our player is destroyed, we want to instantiate the explosion. So in our variables, let's punch in the public game object of explosion. Okay, after that, let's head to the bottom. Let's create a private void on trigger enter 2D, collider 2D other, and the two objects we want our player to be destroyed upon hitting will be that of the invader and the enemy laser. Eventually, the invaders will get close enough that they will be able to connect with and collide with the player. So, if the other.gameObject.tag equals invader, and using these two lines here is saying or the other.gameObject.tag equals enemy laser, then instantiate the explosion at the transform.position and transform.rotation of the player. Now you notice we're not actually deactivating the player object here. We're going to do that later in the game manager script where we will take care of death, respawn and game over. But for now, let's hit save, head back into Unity. Alright, now all we have to do is add the explosion prefab to the player controller script like so, then go ahead and hit play and check it out. And now when you playtest and move around, you'll notice when we get shot with the laser, it instantiates the explosion but our player doesn't die. But don't worry, we're going to cover that in the next video. But overall, our aliens are shooting and it looks pretty good to me. In the next video guys, we're going to cover death, respawn, game over and wave reset using a game manager. Please look forward to that video. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate you stopping by and learning game dev with us. Any questions, please let us know on any of our socials on X, Facebook or Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.